How many of you have seen people at the gym that have been exercising for weeks, months, even years, and they look exactly the same? The reason is not necessarily the exercise program. It has to do with what they're not doing outside of the gym. You have to get your nutrition in check if you want to get that nice, lean physique you've always dreamed of. Diet and weight loss pills are not the answer. Fad diets are not the answer. What happens when you stop taking the pills? What happens when you go off the diet? The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to gain all the weight back that you've already lost and more. So what do? So to begin, you have to make sure that you're burning more calories than you're intaking. The way that we're going to figure this out is you either have to keep a food journal or use a program like MyFitnessPal to track what it is that you're eating. You have to measure what it is that you're putting into your body, either using measuring cups and measuring spoons or a food scale. Once you know what it is that you've been eating, you need to break down what it is that you're eating into the 3 basic macronutrients: proteins, fats, and carbs. Once we know that, we'll repartition them to help get you lean. So during the fat loss phase, we're going to take your protein and assign it based on body weight, 1 to 1.4 grams per pound of body weight. We will take 15 to 25% of the calories and assign them to fat, and giving the remaining calories to the carbohydrates. Let's begin with a quick example of a 150-pound person that is maintaining their weight eating 2,200 calories per day. To determine their protein intake, we'll take 1 to 1.4 and multiply it by their body weight, 150 pounds, which gives us 150 to 210 grams of protein this person should be intaking per day. We will then take 15 to 25% of the calories, 0.15 and 0.25, and multiply it by the 2,200 maintenance calories, leaving us with 330 to 550 of the calories coming from fat. We will then divide those numbers, 330 and 550, by 9, which is 9 calories per 1 gram of fat, which leaves us with 37 to 61 grams of fat our sample person should be intaking per day. We have 150 to 210 grams of protein per day and 37 to 61 grams of fat per day. We will take these numbers and we will multiply the protein by 4 and the fat by 9, giving us total calories used by fat and protein ranging between 999 and 1,389 calories. Once we know these values, we can take our maintenance calories, which is 2,200, and subtract them. So subtracting 999 from 2,200 and dividing it by 4, and 2,200 minus 1,389 and dividing it by 4 gives us a carbohydrate range of 203 to 300 grams our sample person should be intaking per day. Unless you've got specific athletic or physique-based goals, using the lower range in protein and higher range in fat should be adequate for most of the population. Taking 150 grams of protein and multiplying it by 4 gives us 600 calories. Taking 60 grams of fat and multiplying it by 9 gives us 540 calories. Taking our maintenance calories of 2,200 and subtracting the total protein and fat calories and then dividing them by 4 gives us 265 grams of carbohydrates. Again, these macronutrients are now going to be your new maintenance macronutrients. Try to eat within 5 grams of each of these macronutrients for the next 1 or 2 weeks. From here, you'll be able to tell if you're losing or gaining weight based on your weigh-ins. Always weigh yourself in the morning, first thing, nude after urination. Now, depending on whether you want to go in a fat loss phase or a bulking phase determines what your macros are. If you're going to go in a fat loss phase, general recommendation would be to drop between 15 and 25 grams of carbohydrates. So in our sample person, if they were on a fat loss phase, they would want to aim for 150 protein, 60 fat, and 245 grams of carbohydrate. From there, they would weigh themselves every day for a week and then check to see what their weight is. If they're losing weight at a rate which they're happy with, about a pound a week, they would maintain those macros until they stall out. When weight loss stops, we have to remember we either have to eat less or exercise more. So when we want to continually lose weight, we would either drop our carbohydrate intake by a slight amount, such as between 10 and 30 grams, maybe drop our fat a little bit, 5 grams, or increase our exercise, add an additional cardio session for 15 or 20 minutes, add an additional weight training session, or lengthen the current amount of cardio that we already do. The idea is we don't want to have to be at the gym 7 days a week doing an hour of cardio every day. So by tracking what we're eating, we can slowly adjust our food intake and our energy expenditure to get weight loss without killing ourselves at the gym. For a bulking phase, we do the exact opposite. We either add calories in slightly via carbohydrates and or fat, or reduce our exercise expenditure, typically reducing the cardio that we do, in order to slowly gain weight at a rate of maybe 1 pound every couple of weeks, or even 1 pound a month. The slower you gain weight and the slower you lose weight, the more you can maintain muscle mass, therefore getting that lean, ripped physique that we're all after. Another thing to keep in mind while tracking macronutrients is there is no such thing as a good food or a bad food, a clean food or a dirty food. The macronutrients in oatmeal is almost the same as the macronutrients in Pop-Tarts. We want to try to hit our minimum fiber intakes, which for women is 20 and men is 25. Also, maximum fiber intakes. We don't want to exceed a certain amount of fibers because that will cause issues with our digestive system. We also want to try to get 2 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, just to maintain a healthy, well-balanced diet and get all of our micronutrients. Now, one thing to keep in mind is these recommendations are based on people that are 20 to 40 years old. For older people, you may require higher fat or protein intakes and lower carbohydrate intakes due to reduced metabolisms because of aging. Now, I know that this seems like a lot of work, but this will give you the knowledge to maintain it for the rest of your life. You'll then be able to look at portions and determine what the macronutrients are. You'll be able to eyeball things and figure out whether it's good to eat or not good to eat, whether it fits in your macros. And this is something you'll be able to maintain for the rest of your life. Consistency and patience is the name of the game. Hitting your macros over a long period of time will ensure nice steady weight loss and will help you to maintain the weight loss for the rest of your life. Make this a lifestyle. You can eat anything you want as long as you account for it. By learning nutrition, you will no longer feel the need to go on crazy diets. You'll have the information to achieve your goals and successfully transform your body.